Coming up on 7:16 on a Tuesday morning, a little bit of rain out there. Still a good day. We want to welcome Mountain Home Christian Academy, and tell you what, it's been a thrill and an honor to see these kids come in and say the prayer, and wow, great leadership. Lori Mathis, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and I feel the same way you do, Dale. I'm so proud of the students, and these are prayers that have come from their heart. Nobody has coaxed them and told them what they should pray about. What we've encouraged is that they would write what the Lord puts in their heart, what God has prompted on their heart to pray over our community, over the station, over our leaders and our nation. And a lot of them God's put things on their heart that go even beyond our country. And so it's been neat to see what God has put on their heart, and they've stepped up to the plate. So very proud of them.
And what a fantastic job.
Thank you.
And, you know, the scripture says, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, and that's a perfect example right there.
It is.
And it's really good to see.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Good morning. That's what I've got. It's early. Yeah, we're proud of our kids, and obviously I'm proud of Riley. So, yeah.
So what's going on at the Christian Academy these days?
Goodness, where do we begin? There's a lot going on.
I'm looking at the website. I'm seeing this nice carriage, horse-drawn carriage with, you know, we'll get to that later.
Yes, and Robin Robinson is here with us, and we have some, well, get to it later, I guess, but we do have lots of events going on, including our 4th annual Father-Daughter Ball, and this year we're inaugurating something new, Night with Your Night. But last week we hosted our spring open house, had a lot of new families come out and come to learn about the school, what we have to offer, what Mountain Home Christian Academy has to offer as an option for families seeking what's best for their children in education. And so we're happy that we're an option that families can consider. We recently built and inaugurated our storm shelter.
Really?
Wonderful, beautiful facility. It's rated EF5, and
Yeah. By the way, Dale didn't say who I was, but Joey Pegler.
Oh, hi, Joey. Sorry.
I didn't know if I could start
Ladies
talking.
and gentlemen, Joey Pegler.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Excuse me.
Well, I don't
I'm
know.
focusing on vacation.
I don't
Friday.
know. I don't know protocol, but when Lori's talking, you just be quiet. So,
That's right.
yeah,
No.
My apologies.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you know what I noticed, or what I thought was interesting at the open house. There's a lot of families that don't even know we're there. So it's
Right.
just about really getting the word out and educating people about what we're about and what we do. And like Lori was saying, one of the neat things that we've just added lately is a storm shelter. And for me, that's just a peace of mind. I have 4 boys that go to that school, and it's a peace of mind to know that when those tornado sirens are going off, they've got a safe place to go. And you know, that's good for them. It's good for the parents to know that their kids are they're taken care of. So a lot of neat stuff happening at Mountain Home Christian Academy.
Well, let's skip the gristle, get down to the bone. You don't have any government intervention here, so you have your own constitution, your own board of directors or elders or whatever. And ladies and gentlemen, no Common Core.
Amen.
No Common Core.
Do I hear applause across the county there? And the state.
Right. That's, we don't receive any funding, and therefore we're not receiving any mandates either. That of course causes us to be very reliant on the tuition income, as well as we have so many generous people in our community that have blessed our school, and even people beyond our community that believe in what's happening and believe in what we're doing, and are happy that this option is available in our community. And I did want to say one other thing real quick before we move into that. We do have an event coming up. It's called Student for a Day.
Oh, yeah.
And so I know there were some families that possibly weren't able to come out for our open house. And this is going to be on Wednesday, April the 22nd. Students will be able to come for half a day, 8 to noon, 8 to 12. And we're offering this for students that will be entering 1st through 8th grades. And Student for a Day, they can come out if they're curious, just interested. I wonder what it would be like. I wonder what a school day looks like there. They can come out and spend half a day in the classroom that would be their grade level for next year. And we're just doing a small $10 registration fee so that they can be with us. They'll get a T-shirt, a Mountain Home Christian Academy T-shirt, and they will have lunch from Blackbird with us that day. And they'll get to experience chapel. We have our chapel on Wednesday morning. So I just wanted to put that out there and also make families aware that we are having
now,
students.
is this for potential students?
Yes, anybody interested, curious. A lot of times we've had people call in and say, is it possible for a student to come during a school day and observe? And we said, absolutely. We've had that happen. And then now we've decided to offer student for a day. So if anybody's interested, Wednesday, April the 22nd.
What's your enrollment right now?
105. We're at 105 students. We've been growing consistently. When we inaugurated the building that we're in at 1989 Glenbriar Drive, that was in 2007.
Has it been that long ago?
Yeah, we're right at 8 years now. Let's see that we've been in that facility. And we started out in that building, I think, just at about 50 students. And we were offering K4 through 8th grade. And we've since added an online accredited high school. And so, and we're at 105. And we have a fantastic preschool. It's a K4 program. Jennifer Miller is the director and does a wonderful job, and that's also an option that a lot of families have considered. Our preschool functions, our K4 program functions, they use a K4 curriculum, a BECA, and then it functions the same way that a school does. So our K4 students are part of our school. And when we're out of school, they're out of school. When we're in session, they're in session. They go for a full day. So it's a wonderful, and it's focused on early reading.
Really?
So by the time they move into kindergarten, at the end of their K4 year, they have their own little small books. They can read 3-word sentences, and it's fantastic. So we encourage parents to, if they're curious about that, to come check that out.
So taking more of a common sense approach to education, rather than having to listen to Washington or Little Rock or
Right.
what comes out of the state departments.
Yes. You know, ultimately parents answer to God for their child's education, their child's formation. And so we believe that when you have children that are receiving something at home, something at church, and something at school that points them all in the same direction, that's a solid foundation.
That's a good foundation.
And so our goal is to partner with parents in helping their children develop character, even patriotism. That's something that we see eroding in our nation. There's a lack of love for this country, a lack of understanding of how this country was founded and why it was founded. And just you begin to see a disrespect. Even in families, you know, with the breakdown of the family, it seems to trickle down. And part of what is presented through our curriculum, we use a BECA, and we also use Bob Jones for some of our science. And we also use a curriculum called Primary Purpose for some of our Bible curriculum, the Christian Worldview. And you see, part of our curriculum presents still solid American history with great patriotism.
And no twisting the truth.
No twisting the truth. We want the students to be equipped and to learn to be thinkers. You know, then they can take that information and think about it, you know, make a decision. But it's not biased. They're not just given one piece of the truth.
What about the attitude of the students? Do you see a different attitude, mentality as what you would see at a local high school? I don't want to pick on any particular one, but do you see a difference in the attitude of the kids?
I think, you know, children aren't perfect, and their personality traits. But the thing that I think is different, there's a lot of things that we won't tolerate. And because we're not mandated, there are certain things that, you know, for example, if a student is going through a difficult time, something's happening. I've had many, many students come to my office, or even their teacher will bring them and say, you know, this particular student is facing a difficulty right now, and they have asked for the opportunity to come and have you pray with them. Or even the teachers in the classroom are free to pray with their students. Most of our classrooms, we have a morning assembly every day at our school. We gather together, the entire school body, student body, our teachers, our staff, and we start our day out saying pledges to the American flag, the Christian flag, and the Bible. We have a school-wide memory verse that we learn together, and then we have a brief devotional. We pray together. But then when the students go to their classes, they have their own brief Bible time. It's age appropriate. And then they, in their circle, which is their little school family, their classroom, they also have prayer times. And they're able to learn to pray for one another, develop compassion for another person's needs. A lot of times they'll pray for people outside of here that they know and are connected to. So I think all of that carries over into their general attitude and behavior. I think some of that comes through the prayers we've been hearing here in the mornings.
It does. Visiting with Mountain Home Christian Academy. Need to take the news break. We'll be right back. Stick around. We'll be right back. 7:34 on a Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Beglar.
Ho, ho, ho.
I got it in there. Talking with Mountain Home Christian Academy. Let's talk accreditation. Where do we start? Robin?
Oh, well,
You're on. Hello.
Lori just alluded to our student enrollment currently at 105. And one question that I get asked on occasion, because my friends are curious, Robin, I heard that your school is not accredited. What's going on there? And what may be interesting to know is that you have to have the enrollment needs to be at 150 before you can even begin the process of accreditation. So I think there's a misconception that perhaps we have tried to be accredited, but were denied, and that is absolutely false. So I'd like to just clear that up and say we have to get our enrollment up before we can head in that direction.
Robin, for people that don't know what that means, accreditation, or Lori, what does that mean?
Well, there are agencies. It really gives you credibility in the community, and you have to have all certified teachers who have a degree and then have become certified through the state in which they work, and so it does give a school great credibility. The thing is that some of our teachers are certified, some of them are not yet, some of them are working towards certification. But I can honestly tell you that some of the teachers that are there that are not certified, they have many years of experience under their belt, and they do a fantastic job. And the reason I believe they do such a great job is because their incentive, their motivation comes from deep within. They have such a passion for what they're doing and such a heart for the students. They are excited to not only lay the foundation of God's truth for these students to build upon, because here's the thing. Okay, the Bible says that wisdom is worth more than knowledge. So for all the knowledge you're taking in, if you don't have the wisdom to know what to do with that knowledge, then how far can you go? But if you gain the knowledge, if you're learning your academics and you're building that on a foundation of God's Word, wisdom only comes from God, then how much further can you go and what impact can you have? So these teachers that have this heart to ground these students, first of all, in the Word of God, that they might develop a life and a heart of wisdom, and then to bring to them their academics, and they are so diligent, and they pour themselves out, I would say 100% or even more than 100% into these students. I have one of my teachers that routinely, on her break, I see her one-on-one with one student, and she's drilling like, you can get this, I will help you. I see this almost daily, and so I'm very proud of our teachers and the incentive that they have. They haven't lost their incentive. They are motivated, and so I believe some of these teachers, I would hold them up, to any other teacher at any moment.
Well, and coming from a parent, and the passion that Lori brings, I know you guys can hear that. It's the same passion that all the teachers bring. And when I drop my kids off at school every morning, I'm not dropping them off with strangers. I'm dropping them off with people that love the Lord and that truly love their students. I mean, it's a family atmosphere that, I didn't really get growing up going to public school. And that's a really big reason why we decided to go to Mountain Home Christian Academy. And the classroom sizes, it's just, they're small compared to maybe some of the other public schools. And you just get that personal attention from the teachers. And I'm not saying public schools don't care about their children, but when you have 100 students versus 15. I mean, it
Right.
makes a big difference. So that connection there and that relationship with them it's very obvious, and it's it's
It
just
is.
it's a great thing.
It is a family environment. There's one teacher that there have been kids that have said, "Oh, we want to go do X, Y, and Z on the weekend," and and she's like, I can work that out. And I've had a teacher who's worked out field trips on a Saturday. This same teacher has also been known to grab a group of kids and go do something with them on a Friday night at the end of the week.
Sure.
I know one teacher who had a couple students with her this past weekend. They went and did some fun things and went to an auction, that kind of thing. But and you mentioned class size, and a lot of people also ask, well, what is the average class size there? Anywhere from about 8 students to about 15 students max. We're trying to keep our class sizes at maximum 15, or at least if we reach 15, then we start a waiting list. We have one class this year that is 17 students, and if that particular class continues to grow, we're looking to possibly create another class for that age group. So we've been so excited over the growth we've experienced, and we believe that it's God's school and His hand is in it, and our responsibility is just to be obedient and yielded to what He's placed before us, and to do whatever He places before us with excellence. And so every year we strive to raise the bar. Even if it's baby steps, but we're striving toward that goal, and I feel like we've been accomplishing that.
I can see a great advantage here. You've got a good one-on-one with the students, and the teachers probably make time during the day. If they've got say in mathematics, students struggling a little bit, they can take the time.
Yes.
I've seen that.
I've seen them have a student come in and work with them while they're eating their lunch.
Right.
They are more protective of making sure their students are learning what they need to learn than they are of, oh, this is my break, I need my downtime.
And they also have the opportunity, the teachers, growing up, the biggest thing I feared was parent-teacher day, but not anymore, really. But now the teachers, you don't have to wait
Right.
for once or twice a year to talk with your teacher to see how my son's doing, and if there's something going on, they let you know, and it's easy to work that out when you're not dealing with those big class sizes. They have the time not just for the students but also the parents.
When I was working the campaign with Curtis Coleman before the primary last year, he would come to Mountain Home, would visit area schools, and of course he hit every county in Arkansas. The bottom line with public school teachers was, he after talking to them and with some of his people, 42% of their day was dealing with government regulations.
Right.
When I was in first grade, now I did elementary school in southern Illinois, just across the river from St. Louis. And if the teacher needed to work with you, we had class sizes of 32 in those days. Yeah, 30 to 32. They would still, let's say that a child couldn't figure out the difference between KAT and CAT. You can see the confusion there with the different sounds. The teacher would sit there and work with you. Well, now we're getting to the point where with the government interventions and Common Core and all this crazy stuff coming out of Washington, if that child has to have a little bit of one-on-one, then you got to file it here and file it there. Next thing you know, you get the ACLU involved and all these crazy crazy lobbyists and stuff.
Right.
You just won't throw your hands in the air,
We would like to acknowledge, just as we were chatting over the news break, we personally know many teachers, a great number of teachers at the public school in our community that love the Lord, that are Christians,
Yes.
that probably more than likely pray for their students, but their hands are tied and they are not able to pray with their students. And so, and we're talking about teachers all through high school. So, my friends have shared that with me, what a joy and what a privilege it would be to acknowledge, to address the reason they're having these troubles. You can see the hunger in the children for the truth, but you can't share that with them because, those are the rules. So we are not saying that we don't believe that our school is not, just, that it doesn't have Christian influence there. We know that it does, and we know that God is alive and working through those relationships, but we do have the freedom
A couple
talk
years
about
ago,
the
the
Lord.
state of Kentucky's legislature says, well, we need to remove the 10 Commandments from all the public schools because we don't want the kids acting according to that. Duh! Wait a minute.
Wow.
In what way could that be harmful?
Wow.
It could only benefit.
So you get warped minds like that into the school systems, and this is where we're at,
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and take the handy break real quick. That gives us a little bit more to talk about the upcoming, you got Night with Your Night and Father-Daughter Ball coming up. So we'll take the break early with Sean Handy. Be right back.
That's right.
7:48. I'm going to do my usual fundraising plug. Somebody out there got $1,000 they're not doing anything with, give it to the Christian Academy today. Stop by
Amen.
there on the bypass,
Wondering.
halfway, right there, right across from Mount Baptist Church.
That's right.
I like that old line Margaret said to Frank Burns, stick a crowbar in your wallet, give him some money.
We'll take it.
But seriously, I mean, look what we have. We got a crown jewel right here in the Twin Lakes area. So, if you appreciate what you've heard today, we'll show the appreciation with a donation.
One other thing, some people wonder what is our tuition, and I think there's a misconception also that our tuition is unaffordable or it's for the elite. That is not the case at all. So our tuition for one student is $285 a month. That is about one third
daycare.
that of Jonesboro. It is 1/3 of the private school in Jonesboro, 1/4 of those in Little Rock, and even less than some of the schools in Little Rock. So our tuition is very affordable, and it's something that we work at doing. We honestly need to raise tuition, but we don't want to burden our families. So.
But you're a 501c3, so it's tax
Yes.
deductible. So anybody looking for a nice place to put money to good use and then
Right.
write it off, Mountain Christian Academy is
Right.
your spot.
And one of the perks is, of course, the more children you have, the bigger discount you get. Like, for instance, Mr. Pegler across the table.
That's right.
His fourth child, it's only $50 a month. So there's an incentive to have more than 3 children at the Mountain Home Christian Academy.
You
Right,
got about 3
Joey?
more kids, right?
Right.
Down to nothing.
That's right.
It is well worth it, no doubt about it.
No doubt, yeah.
And some fun things your boys get to participate in are, you were going to mention.
Oh yeah, and I have this question a lot as far as people think that we're missing out on some of the things that goes on in public schools like basketball or different sports. And right now, Mountain Home Christian Academy, we just finished up, just recently, our first season of basketball. And
Yay,
so,
Eagles.
Yeah, go Eagles. They did great, and we travel, like other teams, and we play different private schools, Christian schools around the state, and even from Missouri, we've had some schools from Missouri play. So that's been just great. It's been a blessing to be able to let them be part of that team atmosphere. And then we also have after-school activities like tennis. We've had golf. The girls get to enjoy ballet. Just a lot of different programs that they can really get plugged
You have
into.
little cheerleaders. Don't
Oh
forget
yeah,
the baby
we
cheerleaders.
have
Yes,
little
pet
cheerleaders.
squad.
Pet
a little
squad.
pet squad, and
Lady Eagles volleyball.
Lady Eagles volleyball.
oh
We
yeah,
have a
the
very good
volleyball team is just really they were there first, before
Right.
basketball and everything, and so we've got a really good volleyball team and just great good school spirit, and
Very much
it's
so.
it's just a great atmosphere. Yeah, love being part of it.
The 4th annual Father-Daughter Ball, Saturday, May 9th, ages 3 to 5, 1 to 2:30, 6 to 8, 3:30 to 5, 9 to 11, 6 to 7:30, and 12 to 82, 8:30 to 10 p.m. This is becoming quite the thing in Mountain Home.
Yes, it has. Last year and the year before, we sold out 3 of our 4 events, and we are expecting to do as well this year. So we're looking forward to it. Tickets are available online at mountainhomechristianacademy.com. They're $20 each. We do have some VIP tables still available. We have sold out of some of them, some events, but they're $25.
And
And
this is not just for the students and
Oh, heavens no.
This is
No, it's a
community-wide.
huge community event. I think last year with our volunteers, we had around 800
that
guests. It is. It's overwhelming. And I will tell you, when you get there, and Dale, you should come visit. You would be
should.
blown away. It really is something that you get there and you go, we didn't do this. I mean, it is so much bigger than a handful of moms could put on. It is, we know that the Lord's in it. It's a fundraiser that honors Him. It's a fundraiser that promotes relationships within the family. We have so many neat stories. A gentleman the second year had heard about it from his cousin, and he bought plane tickets and flew from New Mexico and brought his daughter. We had a gentleman the same year who had a hospital bracelet on his arm because his wife had just given birth to their third daughter, and he didn't want to miss the ball. So he was there in his suit, and he came and he said, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Wow.
So it has, it's an experience, a fairy tale experience that will outlast this life.
Dads and daughters.
Dads and daughters, that's right. And granddads and
Yes.
uncles, and we have had youth
Big
pastors,
brothers.
big brothers. We have had youth pastors from the church for girls who are fatherless, and it is just it's a big deal. It is, and we are just so thankful to be a part of it.
And brings back that family togetherness, you know, with technology and everything that's going on this
Absolutely.
year. I mean, we're all guilty of it, but sometimes we don't spend enough time with our kids. And I don't have any daughters, so I haven't, excuse me, I haven't had the opportunity to go. But my wife, we have 4 boys, and this year she finally gets to attend because the Night with Your Night.
Yay.
And I know she's super excited. The boys have always volunteered,
Right.
you know, and they get dressed up in their tuxedo, but they really don't have that one-on-one time with mom, and so she's super excited about Night with Your Night. So.
Right, and that's the night before. So that is Friday, May 8th at the Shed as well. Both events are at the Shed. So there are 2 events for this. Ages 3 to 7, it'll start at 5:30, and ages 8 and up will begin at 8 o'clock. And this is not dancing. I know those boys are very disappointed they won't get to dance with their mother all night long. But this is a dinner theater, actually, and the Mountain Home High School Drama Department and Miss Sandra Hitt's choir. They're putting on a skit and some music for us, some entertainment, and this will be a meal also, a full meal.
Wow.
And there'll be gifts and wonderful things. And tickets are available for that event online now as well, mountainhomechristianacademy.com at $25 each. And we do have some VIP tables available at $30 each. And for both events, we say mothers and daughters wear the prettiest dress in your closet, and sons and fathers dress to impress the woman on your arm or the lady on your arm. So you'll see an array of attire there.
This is cool. That's so much fun.
And I'll tell you one thing. We're looking for volunteers. We have between 60 and 100 that have committed. But if anyone out there that's listening would like to volunteer from the community, we need your help. It takes quite a few folks to
Yeah,
put
it
this
does.
on.
Yeah.
And the other thing is we have been so fortunate to have so many sponsors, but we are still looking for sponsors. And it's a great way. It's certainly a valuable way to invest in families in our community, but also about 1,200 people will be there at the event to see that you have supported this. So it's great advertising for your business, and we promote it in other ways as well.
Sounds good. We're down to about 40 seconds.
Sure.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Wow.
That was a fast hour, wasn't it?
That was a fast hour. Just, Robin was talking about volunteers, and at the school, at the Mountain Home Christian Academy, also, we welcome volunteers. We love having our volunteers. And also the parents are very involved. I just wanted to mention that our parents are very involved in all parts of our school functioning, and I would just leave you with that thought. Hope everybody comes out to the Father-Daughter Ball and the Night with Your Night.
Support that and support the Mountain Home Christian Academy if you can help them financially.
Go to
What's
our
the number?
website, mountainhomechristianacademy.com, or 424-6622, and look up the 1216 Club also. It's another opportunity for praying and supporting.
Check them out online, mountainhomechristianacademy.com. That wraps it up for the morning. It's time for the Rush Morning Update, followed by Glenn Beck. We'll see you tomorrow.